just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Doodly 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 scow wow bow. A singer in a smoky room, smell of wine and cheap perfume. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Well, it's now 5 a.m. I'm down at the pier. I'm at the point. It's called Salish Point here in Polson, Montana. And I've definitely got my heart rate up from the jog that Speck and I've been on. And yeah, it's really a nice morning to be wearing a light coat and some sweatpants and a hat and out walking your dog around town in the wee hours of the morning. So I was going to take a picture because this is kind of a cool place any time of day, but especially with lighting where there's lights reflecting off the water. I've always liked that shimmer, so I thought I would share it with you guys. And I don't know why I got Journey in my head when I started making a video, but you know, Don't Stop Believing is, you know, just like one of the greatest rock and roll songs ever. So there that is. And here I am, Luke Venters, at your service, 6 feet above ground. Every time people ask me how I are, I say 6 feet above ground. Ask me how I are. Ask me how I am. How are you? Yes, I are. Sometimes I just say yes too, like, how are you? Yes, I am. I always say that in as much as God is, I'm not. We're all so small compared to God's greatness. Ooh, somebody's been down here fishing. Remnants of night crawlers. Maybe I should feed the fish instead of just letting these worms die. They will give their life for a noble cause. Okay, worms, fare thee well on your journey to the other side. But if I leave them here on this concrete dock, they'll just die and roast in the sun by tomorrow. Not doing any good for anything. So at least this way, I can feed the fish. The worms are in the water, drowning. But well, see what happened to the ones who tried to escape. They're still trying to escape. Boy, okay, so this is really interesting because thank God this is not you. You know, with nothing but miles of concrete in either direction, trying to slide your way across a rough surface on your belly, not knowing which way is up and which way is down. If you try to go back that way, it's quite a long haul if you're a worm to get back to any kind of soil. And that way only leads to more water, which would be drowning even if you flop off the side. So what I'm going to do is rescue this thing from prolonged misery and throw it into the lake. Now, some of you might say, oh no, oh the poor worm, don't drown it. But you know, every time you catch a fish, hey, there's a fishing lure. Every time you catch a fish, it costs the worm its life. And this way, I'm just feeding the fish without asking for anything in return, you know. So maybe some other day I'll catch one of those fish and see the fruits of my labor, if you want to call it that. I'm going to take this sharp fishing lure off of the dock so nobody steps on it. I suppose I could save it. guess we'll see. I do have a tackle box I can put it in. And the question is, do I dare put it in my coat pocket for my run back to the gym where my car is parked? I don't want to forget that it's there and put my hand in my pocket only to get skewered by what could potentially be rusty metal. It looks to be not rusty yet. These are some of the kinds of fish we have in this lake. Bull trout, cutthroat trout, northern pike. Those ones usually have big honking teeth sticking out of their mouths. They're scary to take the hook out of the mouth. Bottom-dwelling suckerfish things called a caudus, slimy sculpin caudus cognatus. Long-nosed suckerfish, mountain whitefish, a large-scale sucker. As you can see, the names are listed in the Native American language. Uyul mati, aye tuhul, peace kzi. And apparently there's no name in Salish for lake whitefish. Smallmouth bass, yellow perch. I guess they only named the more prevalent ones. Some of these might have been introduced after the language was developed, or, oh, yep, non-native fish. There you go. Native fish. You know what's funny is the fish don't battle it out and say, you know what, we're native fish. And you guys are not native fish, so stop swimming in our lake, man. I mean, they might eat each other, but they don't do it because of their race, as far as I know. They do it because they're hungry. And, you know, like Napoleon said in the Count of Monte Cristo, when he's talking to Edmond Dantes, he said, we're all either kings or pawns in this life. And in my smallness, compared to God, I'm just a pawn. Like my friend Sam Marshall says, anytime I thank him for the service he does to the community by putting Catholic radio on the air for free, he says, I'm just a grunt, man. You know, he always considers himself like a private in God's army. Not a general, not a captain, not a lieutenant, not a sergeant, but like a private, not even a private first class. Maybe he aspires to be private first class by the time he dies. You know, I think there's a beautiful humility there that we could all aspire to, you know. So anyway, this video is probably getting long enough, so I'll end it here. God bless you. Keep your heads up. As I always say, you can see so much farther that way. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.